Follows on from the previous tutorial, which looked at external or internal links. External links to other pages is exactly as we described in the introduction, where we're going to create a hyperlink that will link to other web pages. Now, these web pages might be ones that you've created yourself or ones that have been created externally by other developers. We look at both, and we look at the link structure maybe associated with both types. Just very quickly, with regards to external links, it's very simple to create an external links, but there are certain properties that are worth looking at, such as where do you want the link to open, whether it wants to open in the current tab or in another tab, whether you want it to open in a certain frame, which we'll talk about later on in the course, etc. With regards to creating an external link, we have to talk about protocols. And with regards to a protocol is, I'll just pop up this, protocol is what you see at the beginning of your web address, which is HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transmission Protocol, and HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transmission Protocol Secure. So with regards to an external link, depending on if you're linking to your own page or if you're linking to somebody else's page, on a full web address, that should appear. And we'll see exactly how this works when we jump across to Expression. Jumping over to Expression, and we'll see exactly how this whole process works. Now, in class a couple of weeks ago, we've done all of this, but there's no harm just simply recapping on it a little bit here. So what I'm just going to do is smaller. Okay. I'm going to just create simple links here. So I'm just going to link to www.tudublin.ie. And as soon as I press either a space or return, that turns into a hyperlink. That means that when I click on it in the preview, if I preview it in the browser and I scroll down to links and I click on this, it will open up the TU Dublin page instead of my own web page. That works fine. It's very simple to create a hyperlink when you're using the full web address. So we'll talk about this, and we'll talk about what exactly this means. We'll just focus on the hypertext up here for a second. What it actually does, I'm just going to highlight this section up here. What it actually does is it creates a hyperlink, and you see A, which stands for anchor, href, which is HTML reference, and it puts in the full address. Now, the full address, even though I didn't type in HTTP, the full address goes in with the HTTP, knowing that when we type in www.something.ie or .com or .co.uk, that it would automatically put it in with the web address with HTTP. That automatically goes in there. And then at the end, you can see close the anchor. Okay. So what's displayed up here is what I've typed in there, www.tudublin.ie. Okay. I'll just look at the properties of this. I'm just going to right click my link here and look at the properties and go hyperlink properties. Okay. From this, you can see the text to display up on top, which is what I've typed in, www.tudublin.ie. And the address is the exact same, except it has the protocol at the beginning. Okay. With a full web address where you've got a www.something.com or .ie, the http:// must go in there. So just click OK for a second. Okay, so that one works fine. What we're going to do next is we're going to add in, just like we did in class a couple of weeks ago, my favorite website or web page. And what I'm going to do in this case here is I'm going to, instead of typing in the address like this, I'm going to highlight my hyperlink or where I want my hyperlink to occur. I'm going to right click and go hyperlink. Likewise, I can click on this link right up here in the menu, which is exactly the same in Word, which is a little globe with a link on it, which is the exact same as right clicking going hyperlink. Okay. So in this case here, what I've got is my favorite web page, and I can type in my favorite web page down here in the bottom. So if I went www dot, and it automatically goes in with this link, tudublin.ie, okay? So you can see previous links that I've actually used or gone to or appear down here below that. So these will appear in, it typed in TU Dublin straight away because it knew that that's the last link that I went to, okay? Now, as soon as I type in www, it will automatically put in the protocol for me. So I don't need to put that in there, but it must be in there whether I put it in or whether it goes in automatically, okay? So I'm just going to go okay. Now, both of these links do exactly the same thing. The only difference is, and if I just right click again, hyperlink property, the only difference is that the text to display is my favorite web page here, and the text to display on the previous one is tudublin.ie. Okay, so exactly the same result with regards to a click on it. When I click on this one, tudublin.ie, it opens up the TU Dublin website, and if I go my favorite web page, it also opens up the TU Dublin website, okay? So you'll also notice when I click on either of these links that what it does is I have 3 tabs open up here on top. It actually replaces my website with the page I'm going to, okay? And you can see in this case here, it actually opens it up instead of my own web page. Now, quite often with an external link, we don't want that to occur. We want it to open up in a new tab. So that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to type in my favorite web page, exactly the same, in new window, okay? Now the only difference here is that instead of, when I create this link, instead of it opening up and replacing my own site, it's going to actually replace it, or sorry, it's going to create a new tab and open up the site in that new tab, which means that my own website would still be there in an older tab. So in this case here, I'm just going to highlight the same as before, my favorite web page, and exactly the same as before, click on hyperlink, and exactly the same as before, I'm going to put in www.tudublin.ie. That's exactly the same, there's nothing new there. What will make the difference here is when I do open this up, I'm going to go to use this tab over here which says target frame, this little button here. I'm going to click on that. It opens up a new window which allows me to open up my window or my website in a different window here. I've got 4 options. Same frame, which is the default, which means that that will automatically replace the web page where the hyperlink is with the target web page that's going to open up. Whole page and parent frame, we'll leave those later when we start dealing with frames, okay? They don't mean anything at this point in time with just a simple window being open. So the only 2 that really are useful here are same frame or new window. A new window is exactly what we wanted to do. It will open up this page in a new tab, okay? Which means that my own page will stay open as well. If I want to, you can see that it says target frame blank, which opens up a brand new window. If I want to, I can set this as my page default, which means all hyperlinks that are in this page, if I didn't specify, it will open them up in a new tab, okay? I'm not going to do that here, but I could do, which means if you had a list of, just say you had a page which had loads of links in it, and you want all of them to open up in a new window, you would do that. And you would set it for the first one, and it would apply to all the ones after. So I'm just going to go OK. I'm going to go OK. So exactly the same link as before. When I take it here, hyperlink properties, it looks exactly the same, but this time the difference is target frame, when I go in here, it's set to blank, okay? So I'm going to test it by just going in preview in Chrome. And when I click on my link down here, you'll notice that I have 4 open here now. It will open up a 5th, okay? So I'm just going to go my favorite web page, and it will open up a brand new tab, the 5th one here, and open up the TU Dublin page in there. My own one stays here as was before. Okay, so it means that if somebody you do want to maybe link somebody to an external site, it means that you're not losing your own site there. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here. So that's in a new window, which is very, very useful and very, very commonly used. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to create another page, okay? And I'm going to link from one page to the other page, okay? So I'm just going to create a brand new page here. I'm going to create it, as I keep saying, and as I said in class previously, every page you create, you save it into the one folder. Keep it in the same place so it's easy to deal with when we upload it onto the web later on. So I'm just going to create a new page here. And I'm going to save this page into the same folder. It's called, the previous one is called tutorial 3. So I'm going to call this one tutorial 3A. Okay. I'm just going to go save. Now at this point in time, there's nothing in this page. So I'm just going to call it tutorial 3A. And in this page, I'm going to link, just make it a little bit bigger, make it more obvious what I'm dealing with here. Bold center, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this back to my original page, which is called tutorial 3. So I'm just going to save this. I'm going to go back to my original page. You'll notice it opens up a new tab for each page that I create. At this point in time, I have 2 pages that are open, tutorial 3 and tutorial 3A. You'll also notice that there's an asterisk at the end of tutorial 3, which means that I've made a change in this page since I've last saved it. So I'm going to save it just to make sure it's up to date. And I'm going to go back to tutorial 3A. Now, I'm going to say link to home page. My home page is tutorial 3 at this point. I said in class a number of weeks ago that every single one of your home pages should be called index.html. Okay, and that's so that search engines and browsers can find your home page easily. So I'm going to just link back to my home page. I'm going to, just to make sure I know what I'm talking about here, tutorial 3. Okay, that's my home page. Okay, so I'm going to link to that, and I just simply, it's very simple. When you linking to a page you've already created, it's in the same folder, so it's very simple to find it. It's very simple to locate it and deal with it, okay? Home page is spelled incorrectly, I might add. But anyway, home page, I'm just going to highlight it there again. And right click and hyperlink, okay? Now, Expression makes it very, very simple for me to find my home page, okay? Because it actually shows me a list of all the files that are in the same folder as I'm in at the moment, okay? And as you can see, there's a good few files in there. Most of them are PowerPoints. There are 3 web pages. One is called tutorial 3A, the other one's called tutorial 3, and the other one's called tutorial 2. You can also see that tutorial 3A and tutorial 3 are open, which means that they're actually, I have them open in here. And it's very simple to link to a page that I've already got open. I just simply click on it, okay? Now, what you'll also notice is that it doesn't need to put in the HTTP, the protocol in here. It doesn't need to put that in because it's not a full address, okay? This is what's known as a relative address, okay? And we'll talk about this in tutorial 5 a little bit later on, okay? And the significance of this and what this actually means to us and why we should be using these, okay? But the great thing is, if our file is in the exact same folder as the file we're linking from, we just need to put in the name of the file. So, Expression does this for us, okay? So at this point in time, if I just simply click on this, it will jump from tutorial 3A back to tutorial 3, okay, my home page. So I'm just going to go OK. I'm going to save it and I'm going to preview it. So because I'm previewing the new page I created, there's only one little small bit in it linked to home page. So when I click on that, it will bring me back to my home page, okay? And I could actually put a link down here, which I haven't done yet, but I could put link to tutorial 3A, which I will do, okay? So I'm just going to do the reciprocal link or the opposite link here. So I'm going to say link to tutorial 3A. Highlight that, right click it, hyperlink, and because I have tutorial 3A open, I just simply click on it there and go OK. And I save it, preview it, and when I go tutorial 3A, it just simply goes there. So I can click on these and it will bring me between my 2 pages, very simply. That's a very simple thing. This is how you create links within your own site. It's very, very quick. It's very, very simple. You can even link to pages that you haven't yet created. So for instance, if I come along here and go link to tutorial tree B, okay, sorry, tree B, okay. Now I'm going to link to this page. Now I haven't yet created it. So if I just come along here and highlight that, right click, hyperlink. I can't find it in this folder here because I haven't got it in, I haven't created it yet. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go tutorial 3b dot HTML. Okay. So I'm linking to this tutorial 3b.html even though I haven't yet created it. And I go OK. I'm going to save this page and I'm going to preview it. Now when I do this, this link will go looking for a page called tutorial 3b. Now it's not there yet, so it's going to give me an error. Okay. Now that's not something I need to worry about yet, because you would do this on a home page. When you're creating your home page, you might put all your links in, and you might link to contact pages and about us pages and other pages that you might have within your site, but you may not have created them yet. So that means later on you can then copy your home page and paste it as these other ones and change the content that needs to be changed. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to show you that this works. Okay, I've created a page called tutorial 3A, but I haven't created 3B yet. So I'm just going to create a new page. I'm going to call it, create a new page. I'm going to call it tutorial 3B. Okay. I'm not going to put anything else in it, but I could put whatever I want in it. Save it. It's going to save it as tutorial 3B. Make sure that it's in the same folder as the other ones. I just go save the page, go back to my original page, which is tutorial 3, preview it in the browser. Now my link should work. I go tutorial 3b and it'll open up that, and it does. So what I'm trying to say is that I can type in a name of a page that I haven't yet created. As long as I call the page, when I do create it, call it the exact same name as the name I called it in the link, it will work away, no problem whatsoever. Okay. What else have we got to look at here? With regards to, I'm going to go back to tutorial 3A, and what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to link to a page that I'm going to link not only to a page such as home page, but I'm going to link to a section, okay, in that page, such as tables or links or lists. Okay, so I can do that. I've already created internal links in tutorial 2, and while doing so, it also created what are known as bookmarks. If you didn't create those, what I can do with this is I can show you very quickly how you create a bookmark here. So I'm going to highlight the word resume here, and I'm going to go insert HTML. Sorry, I'm not going to go insert bookmark here. Okay. Now, as I said earlier on, it already created these ones, introduction, headline, font. So I'm going to call this one resume, and I'm going to go OK. And I'm going to save it. So now I have a number of bookmarks in, some created through internal links, and one that I just created there a second ago by going insert bookmark up here. Okay, highlighting a word, insert bookmark. So what I'm going to go to now is tutorial 3A. I'm going to say link, or just simply view my resume. Okay, and I'm going to link not only to my home page, but to the resume part of my home page. Okay, so what I'm going to do is highlight the word resume, and as before, right click, hyperlink. I'm going to go to my home page, which is called tutorial 3. And if I created that link by just going OK now, it will just bring me to my home page. But I want to go to a specific part of it. So I can go bookmark. And if there are any bookmarks in here, it will show me the bookmarks. Okay. So I've got in total 7 bookmarks in here. 6 of them I created using internal links in tutorial 2. And 1 I just created a minute ago by highlighting it and going insert bookmark for my resume. So I'm going to go to that one there by just going resume. I'm going to go OK. And then I'm going to go OK again. Before I go OK, you can see tutorial3.htm, okay, meaning that it will go to this particular page. And you see hashtag resume. When you see hashtag, it means it's looking for a bookmark within the page or a section within the page, okay? So it's looking for resume. I'm going to go OK. I'm going to test this out by clicking save and then preview in Chrome. So now I've got 2 pages. One is going to go to home page, the other one's going to resume. The one I want to test out is resume. So it should not only bring me to tutorial 3, but it should bring me to the resume part of that. And it does, okay? It brings resume to the top of the page. As I said before, it doesn't actually bring it right to the very top because there's not enough content below this section here. But as soon as I create some more in a few minutes, it will bring resume right to the very top of that page.